MotoGP is living through one of its most electrifying seasons in history, and at the center of it all stands Marc Marquez, a man who has risen from the depths of despair to reclaim his place at the top. His relentless march toward a potential 9th world championship has not only reignited old debates about the greatest of all time, but has also caught the attention of the sport's brightest rising star, Pedro Acosta. Acosta, the fiery Spanish prodigy and reigning poster boy for MotoGP's next generation, has boldly positioned Marquez alongside the legendary Valentino Rossi in the eternal GOAT conversation. His words have added fuel to the rivalry that continues to split fans, even years after Rossi's retirement.
Welcome to GP Time. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.
Marc has come back from hell itself, Acosta said, reflecting on the Spaniard's devastating arm injury in 2020 that nearly ended his career. For me, he and Valentino are equals. What Marc is doing right now is not normal. It's historic. The story of Marquez's comeback reads like a script from Hollywood. After his shocking crash at Jerez in 2020, Marquez endured multiple surgeries, long months of rehabilitation, and endless speculation that his career at the top level was finished. For 3 seasons, the 8-time world champion struggled with pain, inconsistency, and the weight of expectation. But in 2025, with Ducati's might behind him, the old Marquez has returned, only sharper, hungrier, and more ruthless than ever. 7 consecutive sprint and Grand Prix victories have left rivals gasping for answers. Each win has felt like a statement, as though Marquez is erasing every doubt that lingered during his darkest years. MotoGP has seen domination before, but never with such a dramatic backdrop of suffering, doubt, and redemption. While Marquez is rewriting the script for veterans, Pedro Acosta is writing his own for the future. After conquering Moto3 and Moto2, Acosta jumped into MotoGP in 2024 with the KTM factory team, hailed as the sport's next phenomenon. But the transition wasn't seamless. A string of mechanical issues, crashes, and internal frustrations at KTM left the 21-year-old questioning his path. Yet in true racer spirit, Acosta fought back. In the last 6 races, he has delivered 4 podiums, including both sprints and main races, announcing his arrival among the sport's elite. More importantly, he has found himself sharing the podium with Marquez, the very man who once defined the standard Acosta now seeks to surpass. "It's surreal sometimes," Acosta admitted. "I grew up watching Marc and Valentino. Now I'm fighting Marc on the track. I can only respect the way he's come back. When he wins this title, he'll be right there with Nadal, Alonso, and Pau Gasol, one of Spain's greatest athletes ever." But no conversation about MotoGP's GOAT can ignore Valentino Rossi. The Italian legend transcended sport itself, turning MotoGP into a global spectacle. His charisma, fan following, and 9 world titles made him more than just a champion. He became a cultural icon. Acosta, who has trained with Rossi at the VR46 ranch, acknowledges the Italian's towering legacy. "Valentino is Valentino," he said simply. "So much of what MotoGP is today exists because of him. When he invited me to the 100-kilometer DEI Campione race earlier this year, it was a dream come true. His influence will never fade." It is this duality, Rossi the icon, Marquez the warrior, that keeps the GOAT debate alive. One reshaped MotoGP's identity, the other redefined its limits. With the season entering its decisive stages, the stakes could not be higher. Marquez is chasing his 9th world title, a number that would place him shoulder to shoulder with Rossi in the record books. But unlike in the past, the field is stacked with hungry rivals. Jorge Martin, Enea Bastianini, and now Pedro Acosta, all desperate to carve their own legacies. Fans are bracing for fireworks. Each race feels heavier than just points on a leaderboard. It feels like chapters being written in the greatest story MotoGP has ever told. If Marquez wins the 2025 championship, the comparisons with Rossi will reach fever pitch. If Acosta continues his meteoric rise, the sport could witness the torch being passed from one Spanish titan to another. What makes this season so unique is not just the racing itself, but the clash of eras. Rossi's shadow looms large, Marquez is rewriting his destiny, and Acosta is igniting the future. For fans, it's a golden era reborn, a rare moment when past, present, and future collide on the same track. In MotoGP, glory is fleeting. The same rider who stands on the top step of the podium one year can find himself drowning in doubt the next. That is the harsh reality now confronting Francesco Pecco Bagnaia. Once hailed as Ducati's golden child and a back-to-back world champion, Bagnaia now finds himself in the shadow of a man he cannot seem to outrun. Marc Marquez. The Spaniard's blistering dominance in 2025 has not only tilted the balance of power in Ducati's garage, but has also shaken Bagnaia's spirit to its core. What was once billed as a dream team, two superstars united under Ducati's banner, has quickly morphed into a nightmare for Bagnaia, whose struggles are becoming as much psychological as they are mechanical. Former MotoGP rider Ruben Zaus did not mince words when he analyzed Bagnaia's decline. His assessment was cutting. He took too long to recognize that Marc Marquez was better than him. In Zaus's view, Bagnaia's refusal to acknowledge Marquez's superiority has led him into a spiral of self-doubt. Instead of adapting his mindset to fight back strategically, Bagnaia has allowed frustration and pride to cloud his judgment. The consequences have been glaring inconsistent performances, costly errors, and an increasing sense of helplessness. When everything is easy for a teammate, it complicates life, Zaus added, highlighting the devastating psychological blow of watching Marquez win with apparent ease while Bagnaia labors in frustration. The arrival of Marc Marquez at Ducati was supposed to bring prestige, spectacle, and the possibility of one of the greatest intra-team rivalries in history. What it has instead revealed is a psychological divide between two very different champions. Marquez, hardened by years of injury, surgeries, and comebacks, rides with nothing to lose. He thrives under pressure, almost feeding on adversity. Bagnaia, meanwhile, appears to be crumbling under the weight of comparisons. Marquez's seamless adaptation to the Desmosedici, a machine notoriously complex yet brutally fast, has only magnified Bagnaia's struggles. Where the Italian seems locked in combat with the bike, Marquez bends it to his will. The image is stark. One rider fights the machine, the other dances with it. Rebuilding confidence is no small task. It will require Bagnaia to strip away pride, acknowledge Marquez's superiority in the moment, and focus on his own strengths rather than his rivals'. Acceptance, paradoxically, may be the first step toward resistance. The 2025 season still has twists to come, and MotoGP has a way of humbling even its brightest stars. But time is running short for Bagnaia. Each race that passes without a resurgence makes the mountains steeper, the whispers louder, and the shadow of Marquez longer. MotoGP thrives on drama, and the Bagnaia-Marquez saga is providing it in abundance. On one side, a fallen champion fighting to rediscover himself. On the other, a living legend rewriting the definition of resilience and dominance. For Bagnaia, this is more than a season. It is the defining battle of his career. A duel not just with Marquez, but with the demons of self-doubt. The world watches, waiting to see if he will rise from the ashes or be consumed by them.